it, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to BoreDraw. And today we are concluding our season previews for the 23-24 Premier League season.
We fucking done it!
We've got through all 20 teams, and we're rounding it out with none other than Wolverhampton Wanderers, Lopetegui's boys. And yet, Wolverhampton Wanderers, they had a bit of a stinky season last season. We said that about a lot of teams because a lot of teams made money moves in the previous transfer window and it didn't really pay off. Wolves were there hovering around sort of a relegation battle, sort of stayed out of it for the most part. Had a change up in manager mid-season. Yeah, it was a strange one for them. Let's get straight into it and talk about how they got on last. So, Roz, talk me through Wolverhampton Wanderers
2-23.
That's the one.
13th place finish, which on the surface doesn't stink. That's not bad. But when you scratch a little bit under the surface, you see that there are problems there. I think their style of play is quite basic. I like Lopetegui as a manager, but I think maybe he hasn't got the right players to kind of fully impart his style of play.
For me, I looked at it and the board sort of backed Bruno Lage quite heavily. They brought in a lot of his players, and then they've sort of swerved, gone to Lopetegui, who I think is the better manager. I think he's actually quite a high caliber manager.
Yeah.
But he's now working with some weird players that I don't really, like you say,
I think a lot of the players he's kind of realised aren't really for him. Like, they signed Nathan Collins on a big deal from Burnley half a season on Lopetegui, and they've sold Nathan Collins, who I think is actually a really good defender. They've sold him to Brentford. People like Ruben Neves, I know when Saudi comes calling for fat P, you probably take that P, but there's just like a bit of a nonsensical transfer kind of style going on at the moment. Like Matheus Cunha, they got in on loan from Atletico Madrid, was okay, but to sign him permanently for 50 million is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
or like
two goals, no assists in 17 games.
They signed Goncalo Guedes on loan. He didn't really kick on.
Diego Costa.
Yeah, Diego Costa, that was fucking weird.
That didn't work. I mean, so like the problem for Wolves, for me, has been ever since the unfortunate incident with Jimenez.
Yeah,
they've been lacking goals, lacking goals heavily,
big time. Probably the team with
the most boring team in the Premier League.
Least, like, if you were to pick every team and you'd be like, who would you certainly think might not score a goal today? Wolves. You
almost never bet on over 2.5 goals of Wolves.
Mate,
now that says something.
Yeah.
Because so ever since that sort of injury, they've been looking to replace him. He's gone off to Fulham. We'll talk about their transfer window in a bit, but they brought in Diego Costa. That was just a weird move. He just didn't look at. I think he scored one goal.
Mate, he's way past the level now.
So just nothing about it. Matheus Cunha didn't do anything really for me.
Just a lot of their players are doing a lot of nothing. And back in the day when they were cooking,
Pedro Neto,
they had like a really solid three at the back system with big solid defenders like Willy Bolly, Connor Cody.
They had big names. They had
exciting wingers like Pedro Neto and who's the other Ute, the little Ute that looks like a place like Hazard. I can't remember Podence.
Oh yeah.
So them two on the wings were nice with Jimenez up top, and then you had
Adama Traore.
And so like they had excitement in the attack with a nice solid back line, but now
and they also had Rui Patricio in goal, massive name.
Yeah.
They had Jean Moutinho in the middle with Neves.
Yeah, that's
nice. Like such a good double pivot.
But now
so unbelievably good.
There's just a lot of mediocre players and players that were exciting, like Neto, like Podence. They like Jimenez. They all reek now, and they haven't been refreshed. They brought Matt Doherty back. I think he's an alright player. To get him back on free is fine. But like, you're not going anywhere as a club. There's no excitement.
Not exciting.
It reeks a little bit.
And to drop 50 million on Matheus Cunha is weird. Is a weird decision for me. We'll talk. Should we just get into their transfer window?
Let's get into their transfer window.
Yeah, I was just speaking about Matheus Cunha. He doesn't strike me as someone who's going to take them to the next level.
No.
And if anything, they've lost a lot of pedigree alone this transfer window just through losing Neves. Yeah, and Moutinho as well, 100%. They didn't have Connor Cody last season, but he's been massive for them for ages. years and years.
Yeah, I know they're moving away from the three at the back system, so they don't need as many centre backs as they did. But to lose Conor Cody, who's quite a big person in the dressing room, and then Nathan Collins, who is one of the best up and coming youngsters defensively in the league, you're left with Max Kilman, who I do like, and
Craig Dawson,
which is it's okay, but there's no depth in that position really.
It's not exciting, is it?
No, and then like you're talking about Mateus Cunha, I think he's good. He's a luxury player. When they're at a stage now where they need more of a squad rehaul,
100%.
You can't be bringing in a £50 million luxury player.
I look at their team, what they have now, and I think the teams sort of around them. Bournemouth, much better squad. I think Fulham, much better squad. Brentford, much better squad, and then they're getting left in the dust by teams like Aston Villa. Villa's squad is 20 times better than their squad. 100%. There isn't enough quality throughout this team.
Not let alone
starting 11, let alone the whole team.
Yeah.
There is such a lack of quality, and there's a lack of similarity between players. I think you've got players like Mario Lemina, and then behind he's sitting in front of Craig Dawson.
Yeah,
these players don't strike me as someone who's going to become a team.
No, like Mateus Cunha and Craig Dawson. What's going on there?
No,
that's not a vibe.
Yeah, it's weird for me. They brought in Bueno as well. I think he's all right.
I like Bueno.
Yeah, I think he was a bit of a positive for them.
Yeah.
And like you said, they'll probably have Matt Doherty on the right.
Yeah, him or what's his face from Barcelona, Nelson Semedo.
Yeah, I think Semedo's a bit of a luxury player as well.
I think
Riyad Aït-Nouri.
Yeah,
I think he was all right,
Jose
but
Sarr's
he's not really too interested. Jose Sarr's a decent goalkeeper, but for me, the main issue for them was they were creating chances. No one could finish their dinner.
No
one could do anything around that goal, and it must be so frustrating to watch as a Wolves fan. They've got players like Adama Traore who went out on loan.
Yeah.
He's been the epitome of all glitz and glam, no output.
Yeah,
such a machine.
All the gear, no idea.
Yeah, he's got all the attributes to be a top player. No one can get near him when he's running the ball.
No one is a better progressive ball carrier in the world than Adama Traore.
But he couldn't finish his dinner,
when he's in sniffing distance of the goal, loses all composure, mate.
Mate, honestly,
it's crazy.
He must have had some childhood trauma with a goalpost or something. He can't get it anywhere near.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the main target has to be getting someone in who's going to put those chances away.
Yeah, you need a goal scorer, and I don't know if they put a lot of stock in Mateus Cunha being that guy, but from what we saw at the end of last season, I don't think you can rely on him. You need, and we say this a lot about teams lower down the Prem, you need a seasoned Premier League goal scorer.
And obviously they're not easy to come by.
They're not.
If they were so easy to come by, everyone would have one.
Bingo.
But
Mateus Cunha, 50 million. You'd rather put 50 million into someone that you know
could have
has
maybe
been
dropped
there
50 million and got Ollie Watkins.
You want to put 50 million into, the results are at least a possibility. With Mateus Cunha, he is such an unknown quantity that to put that much money into him is ballsy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think they are going about their business in the wrong way, and I think it might come back to bite them.
I think so.
Let's move on and talk about how they're going to line up in their opening fixture against Ten Hag's Man United at Old Trafford.
Oi.
So yeah, the starting lineup we have gone with is one Jose Sarr in goal, who I actually think is a decent goalkeeper. I don't mind him at all. I think he was a decent replacement.
Yeah, let's do every position. We'll go decent, not decent.
Nelson Semedo.
I'm going to go not decent.
I'm going to say not decent. I think Matt Doherty is probably the better player, to be honest.
Craig Dawson.
I think he's all right, but I feel like you might as well have kept Conor Cody.
I'm going to be a little bit mean and say not decent. I think where Wolves want to be and where Wolves have been, they were that kind of team from the Championship that got up, kind of the
With
Brentford
style.
before Brentford, and were taking on the big dons. They
100%.
did the double over Man City a couple of seasons ago, and they used to beat Arsenal quite a lot. They used to be a team that was pushing for European football.
Under Nuno Espirito Santo, they were absolutely electric, and he sort of got a bit stale, didn't it? And then they fell off.
And they've kind of lost their way, and now they've got a lot of players from that team, plus a lot of new players that have come in and different managers. And there hasn't been this kind of like squad building that's suited them.
But yeah, Craig Dawson, I think they would have been better
no.
off keeping Nathan Collins.
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, Nathan Kilman and Collins
decent.
is not a bad back.
Exactly, I totally agree.
Not a bad centre-back pairing. Yeah, so Max Kilman, I like Max Kilman.
So do I.
I think he's good.
Bueno,
but I'm not sure about him in a back two when he's... for me, he was very good in the back three.
Yeah, I agree. I think alongside Dawson has a lot of experience. So I think maybe they are good.
I haven't seen enough of Kilman in a back two, though.
Yeah, I'd like to pair Kilman with someone a bit better than Craig Dawson.
Agreed. But and then Bueno on the left-hand side. Yeah, I think he's all right. Yeah, not bad at all.
Mario Lemina, bang average.
Very average. Mateus Nunes, who I think is okay.
He's all right. He was linked to Liverpool, wasn't he? And I think there is a decent player there. I remember when Wolves signed him, Pep Guardiola said that he was like one of the best ball players that he's ever seen.
For me, I just feel like he's a player that no one knows his best position.
A little bit luxury.
He doesn't know his best position.
And a little bit kind of... I think maybe stunted by the fact that he's had two different managers that haven't really known how to utilise him.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if you find his best position on the pitch, if you find a system that allows him to play sort of like a free roaming sort of playmaker role,
he's going to have to carry a lot of the midfield weight this season.
100%, a lot of the creativity as well.
Lamina and João Gomez, I don't know enough about João Gomez, but I think both of them aren't at the similar level to...
to Neves,
Nunez, Moutinho, all of those are a tier above. So I think Nunez is going to be carrying, I think.
Forward line, we're looking at Sarabia. It is what it is.
It's just reeks, mate. It's so many average players.
Mateus Cunha, who I think he's got to step up or ship out.
Nicest I can say is probably average.
Because 50 million, that's a big price tag for someone who really didn't do it last season.
And then similar, Pedro Neto, another player that hasn't done it last season, but was... a couple of seasons ago, one of the hottest properties in the Premier League, one of the best wingers, was turning defenders inside out.
He was sort of like the replacement for Diego Jota when he left.
He's had a lot of injuries and struggled to get back to that kind of electric form. But they need him to cook, mate, because as far as end product, he was probably the best in terms of end product. And they need that again because, like we said, they struggle for goals.
They've got Fabio Silva back.
Yeah, he had quite a good little season on loan, you know. So maybe
he's always been sort of a hot prospect, isn't he?
Hopefully he comes back.
Podence as well struggled with injury last season. I like him. I like him on the ball.
Yeah.
Not enough end product for me. And is Chang there or is Hwang Hee-chan left? I can't remember now.
Oh, I fucking love Hwang Hee-chan.
Yeah, he had a bit of a purple patch, didn't he, a couple of years ago?
It doesn't say he's on the outgoing, so I assume he's still there.
Yeah, it could be there. But yeah, for me, the team is very mediocre, and I would be a little bit worried. But Wolves fans, let us know down below. Are you worried this season? Have you got faith in Mateus Cunha? Because we are not sure at all.
Prove us wrong.
Have you got faith in the Lopetegui way? Because I do like Lopetegui.
Yeah, he's a good manager. I think out of all of it, you can put your hat on the fact that you've got a good manager. So maybe he can work up a little bit of magic.
Maybe that's still seen them in West Ham.
Exactly that.
Let us know down below what you thought. And guys, thank you very much for joining us. This rounds out all 20 Premier League season previews. And the season will be starting imminently. So make sure you're sticking around. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we really do appreciate it. We're trying to hit 250 before the season even starts. So
mate,
we'd love to have you
back
around
this weekend. So let's get on it.
It's kicking. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been BoreDraw. Remember to hit that like button as well. And it's live.